everyone, this is Miss Catherine here. I sure do miss you guys. I'm here in one of our kids community rooms, and I hope we can be back together here soon, but I'm glad that we get to share this story here together today. Let's move our calendar. You can see that we're still in the green and growing time. It's a long time. A little past halfway. Okay, let's get ready. The Lord be with you. This is the desert. It's not all of the desert. It's just a piece of the desert. So many important stories happened to the people of God in the desert that we just had to have a small piece of it here in our classroom. The desert is a dangerous place. There's very little water in the desert, and without water, crops don't grow. Without food and water, people die. When the winds come, it changes the desert. It's easy to lose your way in the desert. The desert is a dangerous place. You have to be ready to go into the desert. The people of God were living in an area where the rains did not come. Without the rains, their crops didn't grow. And they couldn't grind their grain to make into bread. There was very little food. They were hungry. The children cried in their sleep. The mothers and fathers knew that they had to take them somewhere to get food. They had to take them across the desert. And so their journey began. It was a hard journey across the desert, but they had to keep going. They were going to a place called Egypt. In Egypt, there was a king called Pharaoh. When the people of God got to Egypt, there was food and there was water and work, but the Pharaoh trapped them. They could not go back home. They had to do whatever the Pharaoh told them to do. They had to get up when the Pharaoh told them to get up. They had to go to sleep when the Pharaoh told them to go to sleep. They had to eat what the Pharaoh told them to eat. They had to do the work the Pharaoh told them to do. They had to do whatever the Pharaoh told them to do. They were slaves. Then one of the people of God, whose name was Moses, came to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh said, "No." Many times Moses came back and said to the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But the Pharaoh said, "No." Then many strange things started happening in the land. But the Pharaoh still said, "No." Then something terrible happened in the land. The oldest son in each one of the Egyptian families died, even in the family of Pharaoh. The sons of the people of God did not die. They put a mark on their door with the blood of the Lamb, and the angel of death passed over. This time, when Moses came to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go," Pharaoh said, "Yes." the people of God had to hurry and get everything ready. They took whatever they could carry and they baked bread to take with them on their journey, but they didn't have time to put leaven in the bread, so it didn't get big and fluffy the way our bread does in the store. It stayed flat. And you can still taste this bread today. It's called matzo. And when you taste it, you can taste this story. And so the people of God set out. They went as fast as they could. They were afraid that the Pharaoh would change his mind. But then they heard a sound that they did not want to hear. The army of Pharaoh was coming after them. They could hear the horses' hooves, and the rolling of the chariot sounded like thunder. They didn't know what to do. The army of the Pharaoh pushed the people of God up against the water. They couldn't go any further. Then Moses came so close to God, and God came so close to Moses that he knew how to lead the people through the water. This one looks scared. This one looks confused. This one looks happy. This one's running so fast. When the people of God were on the other side of the water closed back up. They were safe and they were free on the other side. They were so happy they just had to give thanks to God. And Miriam, the sister of Moses, led the people in dancing. And I wonder what part of the story you liked the best. I wonder what part of the story you thought was most important. I wonder what part of the story was about you or where you are in the story. And I wonder if there's any part of the story that we could take out and still have everything that we need. I hope you get a chance to talk about these questions with your families, and I hope you get a chance to respond to what you've heard today in this story. And I hope you have a really good day. See you soon.